My name is David Lamadou, Assistant Superintendent for Information Technology and Operational Innovation. I am the Incident Commander of the District Emergency Response Team. Today's presentation is on school emergency response, knowing what to do, a guide for parents. Presenting with me is Mickey Jones, our District Safety Coordinator, Jim Victor, our Safety Specialist, and Jim Nair, who is also part of the Incident Command Team from the District Emergency Response. Before we begin our presentation, I would like to thank our first responders for their dedication and continued partnerships with the district to help keep our students, staff, and community members safe. We work closely with all the first responders identified in this slide. They are an essential part of our planning and safety drills. The district has a district-wide safety plan that is available on our website. The plan reviews our safety practices in a very general nature. All buildings have their comprehensive emergency plans and procedures. These are not available to the public as they contain specific about safety procedures. Currently, our building procedures include responses to closing school prior to start, early dismissal, shelter in place, lockdown, evacuation, and relocation. The building level plans include responses to many different threats. While it is not possible to drill for every situation, we work hard to be prepared for multiple situations that could occur. Drill and practice is important for students as well as adults in our school community.
Each school building in the district has a building emergency response team. The building team representatives train on a monthly basis with the district emergency response team. Additionally, when we have trainings, we bring in local emergency responders to offer suggestions and help further develop our plans. When we conduct drills, we also bring local emergency responders to participate. Our procedures include how we would respond to several types of instances. School plans and practice procedures for fire drills, off-site evacuations, shelter in place, relocations, lockdowns, and school closure during the day. When we conduct drills at the schools, we try to make it as real as possible. By keeping it real, for a drill, it creates less confusion during an actual emergency. Children may come home from school and talk about drills that were conducted at school. The schools also have mandates regarding the number of drills and types that must be done each school year. If you come to one of the schools during the day, at some point, you may arrive while a drill is in progress. Access to the building may be denied, or you could be stuck inside of a building and not able to leave until the conclusion of a drill. We ask you to be patient and understanding.
Imagine that you're going about your day, watching television, listening to the radio, or browsing social media. Then you find out that something is happening at your child's school. Your first thought might be to rush right over there, but this is not a good idea. If you rush to the school, it may not allow emergency responders or school personnel to get there and set up where they need to. We ask that you stay where you are until you are instructed to proceed to the school or other location. Our first priority is to keep students safe. Part of the emergency procedures call for locking the building. This is to keep intruders out. First responders always have access to the school buildings.
Keep in mind that in an emergency, your children may need to be evacuated from the school building and relocated elsewhere. Where that site is will be determined by that particular situation. You can check your phone, radio and TV, the school's website, or social media to find out where and when you can pick up your children. We understand that as a parent, you want to know the evacuation site for your child's school. Each building has a multiple set of evacuation sites identified. Where we go will be dependent on the emergency. We cannot disclose the evacuation location until staff and students have been safely moved to that site. Remember, the job of the emergency responder is to deal with the situation at hand and ultimately protect our children. If they have to focus on other people arriving at the scene, they won't be able to effectively do their jobs.
During an emergency, it is important to follow some specific communication guidelines. Although it is tempting to call your child, please understand that the sound of a phone ringing or students speaking could pose a risk to everyone in the room. As soon as the situation is stabilized, your child may have the opportunity to contact you. The Saratoga Springs City School District will be updating parents as quickly as possible using several resources. These include the school website, school social media outlets, as well as local radio and television stations. Please understand that a landline and even cell service could be spotty depending on the nature of the event. Once the district has provided you with details on the reunification location, remember to bring photo identification to the site. Please remain calm and be patient.
Student safety is paramount to the district. The procedures are in place to help parents and students in an emergency situation. The district will only release a child to an adult that is authorized to pick up the child. This process will take some time, so please be patient as we work to reunite you with your child. One of the largest challenges during an emergency is the parent-child reunification process. We want to quickly reunite parents and children while making sure it is done right. The right adults are getting the children they are authorized to take. At the evacuation site, there will be stations established for this process. As a parent, you will be directed to Station A to request your child. Please be prepared to show photo identification at this station. After your information has been verified, you will be directed to another station where staff will bring your child. After you receive your child, please leave the evacuation site as soon as possible.
At Station A, parents will not only verbally request children, but you will have a form that will need to be completed. A portion of this form will go with you to where you will receive your children. You'll be asked to sign this form after receiving your children. Please leave this form with the staff. Once again, after you've received your children, please leave the evacuation site as quickly as possible.
Emergencies are stressful times. Once the emergency has been resolved and school is back in session, please take some time to reflect and voice concerns back to the district. We will gladly listen to any feedback, but please understand that there may be many elements of the response you may not know.
Parent participation is a key component in this process. You can help by attending any informational sessions in the building and by updating your emergency contact information at any time when it changes. The district website has an electronic form to change things like phone numbers and email addresses.
Feel free to make constructive comments and suggestions to make these processes run more smoothly. Planning and preparation for emergency situations is an ongoing process, and there is always room for improvement.
Cooperation between parents, building personnel, and district administration is also important. We appreciate your input and any ongoing support as we work to improve both safety and security for our school community.
It's important for parents to put safeguards in place. Make sure your children know how to contact you. If there's an early dismissal, do they know where to go? These practices also translate to the home. Do you have an emergency kit at home? Do you know how to evacuate in the event of a fire or other disaster?
There are many sources of information on emergency preparedness. Some of them are listed here to help you get ready.
Thank you for taking the time to review this information. Please continue to look for school safety information from your child's school building, as well as the Saratoga Springs City School District.